Hey guys, in this video I'm going to share with you a very personal story about one of my failures. And I believe that it's important to share it with you because many people have a misconception and they believe that people who are good on the camera or they are good in presenting on a stage were born with it, right? So for example, in my own life, I have situations where after my presentation, people tell me, hey, I wish I could be like you, but I just don't have it in my DNA. But they have no idea that back in the day, I used to struggle with public speaking myself, all right? I'm not naturally born with this talent, okay? I had to learn it myself, and I'm still learning every single day. So I remember back in the day, many years ago, I was in a student organization called ISEC. Now, I was in the executive board, and one day we were supposed to give a presentation in front of, I don't know, 70, 80, maybe 100 people. So before the presentation, I felt quite confident. I walked into the room, I was waiting for my turn. I felt fine, you know, I thought that I could nail it. But then for some reason, a few minutes before the presentation, I felt some strange feelings in my body. My heart started racing, I started sweating, I had thousands of thoughts in my mind, and I realized that I'm getting stressed out. And then what happens when you are getting stressed out right before your presentation? Well, the awareness that it's happening makes you even more stressed out. So I started panicking. I started thinking to myself, holy shit, I got to present in a minute from now. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can barely, connect two sentences together now. My brain switched off. Now, have you ever had a situation like this? Have you ever had a situation when you are about to present something, anything, and for some reason your brain switches off and you don't even know what you have to say? And you feel like you're gonna almost pass out because, I don't know, your legs are weak and you have no power, no energy. Well, in those situations, you face two options. You can either run away or you can face your challenge. Well, it happens that on that occasion, I basically decided to run away. So I literally told some of my friends sitting there from the executive board, I said, listen guys, I have a big stomach problem. I gotta go to the toilet, I'll be back. And they're like, where are you going? You have to present. But I couldn't even respond to them. I just left the room and everybody was looking like, what's happening to this guy? So I went to the toilet. Of course, I had no stomach problems. I was standing in the toilet pretending that I had to be there because I didn't feel enough power to deliver that presentation. But then while I was standing there literally feeling like shit, I didn't know what to do, I realized that I have two options. I can either easily pretend that I really have a stomach problem, stay there for an hour, not give a presentation, or I can go back. But I knew that if I keep going with it, if I pretend that I'm sick, I will keep running away from my problems. And next time I have to deliver a presentation, I'm gonna probably face the same situation. Okay, I can't escape it for the rest of my life. I have to present. So at one point, I decided to push myself to go back to the room. And it wasn't easy, it was very difficult. But I literally I forced myself to go back. So I started walking back really, really slowly to the room. It felt like forever. I opened the doors and then it hit me. Everyone is waiting, everyone is shocked, nobody knows what really happened. And I walk into the room and it felt like it was a weird out-of-body experience. It almost felt like I was looking at myself from some other angle. And I just said, sorry guys, I apologize. I had a stomach problem, but I'm back. And then I started delivering my presentation. Now, it wasn't easy. First few sentences, I was speaking like a zombie. It was really, my heart was pounding. I felt like I'm gonna pass out. But then with every sentence, I felt better and better and better. And after a few minutes, I realized, oh wow, I'm still here, I'm alive. People are kind of enjoying what I'm talking about. So the more I spoke, the better I felt. And the interesting thing was that afterwards, after that presentation, everyone told me, hey man, that was a great one. We really enjoyed it. We learned a ton. And I was shocked because in my mind, I thought that everyone will be able to see how I felt. But then I realized that just because you feel in a certain way doesn't mean that people can see it, all right? Now, it was a very powerful experience and it definitely boosted my confidence. Now, I wish I could tell you that that particular situation fixed everything in my life, but it wasn't like this, all right? Even though I boosted my confidence a little bit, I still had to work on myself day after day. And I still felt afraid before giving new presentations, but at the same time, I remembered that situation from Isaac, and I knew that just because I feel afraid, it doesn't mean that I won't be able to perform. So every single time I would push myself to get on a stage, face that fear, and whenever I faced it, it became smaller. You see, that's the funny thing about fears. When you actually face them, they don't seem so big anymore. Now, I like this saying where, if you take an apple and you look at it for too long without eating it, it's gonna rot eventually, right? The same thing will happen to your confidence if you stare at your fears for too long without taking any action. Your confidence will start rotting. On the other hand, if you push yourself and if you are afraid of something and you take that first step to do something about it, then first of all, the fear will not seem as big as it was, and your confidence will start growing because you trust in yourself. You realize that you are capable of pushing yourself to the next level. So I'm sharing with you this story because many people tell me, look man, it's easy for you, but I'm not confident. I'm not naturally gifted with this talent or whatever it is. I can't perform on a stage. I can't set up a business. I can't travel the world. I can't talk to strangers. People have those misconceptions about themselves. They have those limiting beliefs. They feel like they can't accomplish certain things, not realizing that everything is just a skill. It's up to you if you're gonna learn it or not. And by the way, I know a ton of people who had very similar situations. I know a ton of people who right now present on stage, right? They know how to deliver a really compelling speech. They know how to captivate the audience, how to get a standing ovation. I know people who charge $5,000, $10,000 for one speech. And it wasn't always like this. And they had moments when back in the day, they could barely stand because their legs were shaken. But the difference between those people and the ones who haven't accomplished it is that the ones who made it happen kept pushing themselves. All right. So the main message behind this video is this. I was on the other side. Okay. I know how it feels to be on a stage and feel panically afraid and not being able to maintain your composure and to do it the right way. I've been there. I know how it is. I know how much pain you feel if you are in this situation. And I managed to transform 180 degrees. Now, if I managed to do it, you can do it too. And it's as simple as that.